Don't outsource your intuition. See, the more you let AI think for you, the harder it gets to hear yourself. And that's not because AI is evil, or not even because it's wrong. It's a very helpful tool by the looks of it. But because every shortcut that you take in life, well, it costs something. And sometimes what you lose is your own wisdom. So here's what I want to explore. Not whether AI is dangerous, there's loads of videos on that. Not whether it's amazing, because I think it's pretty cool. But now that we're using it, let's talk about how we're using it and what we might be losing in the process. And we're going to do this from a conscious perspective because if you're on this channel, you're going through some kind of spiritual evolution journey. Because if we're not conscious, we're not just outsourcing tasks, we're outsourcing our own inner trust, our self-trust. And when that goes, we've lost a very important internal power and we've given away our intuition to one or two or three big companies. And that's never going to be a good idea. So it's important. And I want to walk you through 3 layers of this. First, how unconscious use of AI may begin to numb us out. Then, where real wisdom actually comes from. And finally, the kind of inner wisdom, inner intuition that no AI can replicate. And exactly how to feel it and see it for yourself. So first, let me tell you a story. A few months ago, my partner and I, we started using AI to help us work through some deep relational stuff, old patterns, emotional loops, really, really sticky things, childhood trauma. Now, we were trying to do this consciously. We wanted to grow together, naturally, so we brought AI in, thinking it could help us communicate a little bit better. And at first, it felt amazing, so clean, so articulate, so emotionally correct. But after a while, something did begin to feel off. We realized we weren't actually relating to each other anymore. We were relating through AI. It was like our AIs were talking to each other, and sure, it felt efficient. And it felt good, but it wasn't real. We'd outsourced the tension, the discomfort, the stuff that makes a relationship actually intimate. And then a friend of mine who's not even on the spiritual path at all just said, "This sounds like AI is just talking to AI." And that hit me like a truck because he was right. We weren't building real connection. We were bypassing it. And that made me realize how easy it is to numb ourselves in the name of intelligence. So why do we keep outsourcing our clarity, eh? Why do we keep turning to a tool to tell us who we are, what to say and what to do? Well, it's because most of us were never taught that there's already an intelligence within us, one that's not mental, one that doesn't sound like thought. It's quiet, it's innate. The same intelligence that has spun galaxies and opens flower buds is the same one beating your heart right now. Now, that same intelligence knows exactly where you need to go because you're a piece of it. But you'll only know what piece you are if you're willing to listen to it directly and be guided by its calls. Now, in our tradition, we call that listening space dynamic stillness. And it's not passive and it's not empty. It's not performing some spiritual ideal. It's where you sit back and withdraw from the mind and our mental ideations and the external world. It's where you sit back and connect and become available. That's the place where real wisdom arises, in that place of stillness. Now, if you don't know how to access that yet, we teach it step by step in our free 7-day spiritual growth accelerator. You'll learn how to drop into that stillness and begin hearing the deeper nudges of your soul's wisdom. So now let's take this a little bit deeper because we can get the answers that we're outsourcing to AI by ourselves. It just may not be as quick as Google or ChatGPT, you understand? But here's where it gets deeper. Stillness is powerful, but what really tests us is that feeling of not knowing. When we don't know something, the first place we tend to go is the mind. We try and figure it out, solve it. We try and make it make sense. That's what we're taught, isn't it? Knowledge lives in the intellect, in the mind. But that's not where wisdom lives, as we saw before. Wisdom doesn't come when you force it. It comes when you stop trying to go outwards, when you go inwards instead, when you let go of the need to understand anything and you sit fully in that feeling of not knowing at all. That's what I call the fire. Not dramatic, not a painful fire, but intense all the same. Because there, when you're sitting in that fire of not knowing, There's nothing to hold on to. You're not doing anything. You're just present, connected, and listening without expectation. But in that space, if you place a question into it, even though you know you don't know, in that space, an answer will always come. Like I said earlier, it may not be fast, but when it does arrive, it's clear, it's aligned, and you can guarantee one thing: it's yours. Not what AI would give you, not what someone else thinks you should do, yours. And this is the path of your own heart beginning to unfold. And we might just find in generations to come, if we become too heavily reliant on AI, that doesn't happen anymore. And this innate wisdom is lost. And in that sense, then, AI does take over the world because it will tell you how to think and what to do. And I think I want something that's a little bit more pure, that's a little bit more mine. Now, I'm not saying don't use AI. It's a fantastic tool. Just don't outsource your intuition to it so that your system doesn't get numbed out. We still need to use these faculties inside of ourselves so that we can still be alive and know what's right for us. So next time you feel the urge to ask AI for an answer, just pause. Not because AI is wrong or that it's bad, but because there's something in you that already knows. You just haven't given it the space to speak yet. This isn't about waiting around. You don't need to earn it. You just need to connect to that stillness, drop the question in, and stay there. And I promise you this, something will come. It won't be instant, but it will be real. And it will be right for your life. Now, if you want to go deeper into this work and start recognizing where you're still spiritually avoiding your real stuff, well, there are some links down below for our membership program if you want, or you can watch this one next. It's called Modern Spirituality is Just Glorified Avoidance. And it unpacks how we use spiritual language to mask our coping mechanisms and why we want to stop doing that. You can watch that one right there.